Hey guys, Tommy Bryson here, and every time I think that scammers can't get smarter and just come up with something different, well, every time this surprised me because I made videos talking about the Cash App, but today we have new ways to get scammed on the Cash App, which I'm going to talk about in this video right here. And by the way, it's fine. I've been scammed in the past before, but once you get scammed once, you kind of build like a sixth sense to it, and you rarely ever get scammed ever again. But by the way, I got scammed with fake money when I sold someone something. It was a whole nightmare, but it happened. Only happened once though. And ever since then, I sold thousands of dollars worth, but I've never been scammed again. So this video right here, we're going to cover exactly the two main Cash App scams that are actually going on right now and how to avoid them. And by the way, during the pandemic, they're actually doing it even more, and they're actually getting even more people because they're doing a new strategy, which I'm going to expose in this video right here. Now, if you're new to my channel, guys, I post videos every single day, so make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell to stay notified, and on top of that, also destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much. Now, the first scam is one that's actually old, but with a new twist to it, okay? And that one is basically the DM or the Twitter scam. And the idea is that they DM you saying, hey, I'm going to send you X amount of money. And you say, for example, okay, how do you do it, right? Oh my gosh, free money, why not? And they tell you, well, I'm gonna send it to you with the Cash App. You ask why, they say, hey, I just wanna bless you with some money. Or for example, I work at the Cash App and basically I got fired and I'm sending money to everyone, but don't worry, you'll be just fine. And they ask for two details. Hey, what is your Cash App? All right, here's my Cash App. No problem. You can't do anything with it. On top of that, what is a good email for me to contact you with? And you say, well, let me give you my email address. And here it is. My email is xyx whatever it is .gmail.com, whatever it is, okay? And basically, you get a notification saying, hey, this person actually sent you $5,000, $4,000, or sometimes even $10,000. But I notice they don't really want to go that high because it seems very unbelievable. So usually they say, hey, this person sent you $250, maybe $1,000, maybe $4,000, but that's about it, okay? They don't go that high, but then you get suspicious, right? And once you click that email, it looks very, very legit. And that's where the scam actually takes place, because basically it's going to do two things. The first thing is it's going to tell you, hey, to get this money, you have to pay this fee of $25 or $100. So basically, the scammer wants you to send him $25 to $100, and then boom, before you know it, you send them money, they block you, you can't contact them anymore, and you just lost $25 to $100 just like that. But the email, if the scammer is really creative, basically has a sign-in feature to the Cash App to claim the money. Now, you might say, Tommy, but why wouldn't I just go to the Cash App? Well, the scammer might tell you, hey, it might not show up on the app, but it will show up on the entire website of the Cash App. So once you click that email and you sign in, you put in your username, you put in your password, you put in your PIN, you put in everything, guess what just happened there? That was a fake website, a fake email, and you just basically gave the scammer your user signed in, your email address, and also your password, and on top of that, your PIN to actually send money to people. And right then and there, within like an hour or 10 minutes or so, they will make around 5 to 10 transactions, sending out $25, $250, $1,000, $2,000, and before you know it, you're out of a ton of money. And by the way, this happened to someone that's actually a professor, a grown adult, a grown person, and they got him for around $10,000, him and his wife.
The charges?
8 charges within the past 2 days,
totaling $10,000.
And by the way, as you guys know, the Cash App is not really that friendly when it comes to fraud, because according to their policy, you only send money and receive money from friends. So how is it possible to get scammed? Okay, the answer is they don't really care. That's the idea here. So it's gonna be very tricky to get your money back, but by the end of this video, I'll also give you a way to try to fight it and get your money. So stick around to find out exactly how to avoid these scams, but if you do get scammed, how to get your money back. Now, the second scam they're actually using here is one that's actually very interesting. And this one is kind of complicated because basically they actually send you real money. And you might say, Tommy, what do you mean to send you real money? Well, the answer is, if you haven't heard about it, there's something called 25 years in prison, and that's for money laundering. And money laundering is basically whenever somebody makes dirty money, for example, money with no legitimate source, and basically they want to clean it up and make it legit money. They're paying taxes on it. But how do they do that? Well, they actually do it with the Cash App now. And the idea is that, for example, if I stole someone's information, for example, like with method 1, and then I have all this money, $1,000, $10,000, and then I want to clean it up, the answer is, well, why don't I just basically send you money by accident and have you send me that money back to another account, and then boom, that money is now legit. In a sense, right? But here's what happens, guys, okay? Because with this money laundering method, what basically happens is step 1, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get some free money on the Cash App. Came out of nowhere. You got $1,000, maybe $2,000, maybe $10, maybe whatever it is, and someone texts you saying, hey, well, I actually sent you that money by accident. Can you actually send me that money back? Or they might even call you if they're actually very brave enough, right? They might say, hey, I actually sent you some money by accident. Can you actually send me that money back? But in reality, can you send it back to my other Cash App account? Because right now, that one seems to be actually like doing some weird stuff. So just send it to my other accounts. You go ahead, you send the money to that person, and you're like, hey, you know what? I am a very good person because basically, I could have just kept that money, right? But I'm so good because I just sent that money to that person. Well, guess what? In a few days, around 3 to 7 days, that money will be negative in your account balance. But tell me why? The answer is, well, what that person just did was they scammed someone else with somebody's stolen information, for example, their credit card, the account number, and then sent you money, just stole money, sent it to you, you sent it to them. But in reality, once that person finds out and claims that money back, in reality, you will be liable for the full amount because basically you sent the scammer the full amount. And although you might say, well, I had no idea, the answer is, why would you send money to someone you don't know? And also, why would you receive money from a place that you actually don't know either? You might say, hey, I was trying to be nice, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, according to the Cash App entire policy, you shouldn't send money to anyone. On top of that, you shouldn't be receiving money that you don't really know where it's coming from. But that's not the only way they actually do this, because basically they have another way, and it's actually a partnership where basically they tell you exactly what they're gonna do. Hey, I actually have money I'm gonna send to you. You send me half, you keep half, and boom, we're both good to go. Right? And the idea is that you know this is not legit, you know something's going on that's tricky here, but you still take the money, and once that person again claims the entire account and claims it for fraud, well, you will be out for the full amount, but you sent that other amount to the other person, so in reality, right there, you lost half the money of money that didn't really belong to you in any way. So if anybody ever sends you money automatically, like out of nowhere, or tells you, hey, I'll send you money, just send me like half of it, the answer is always, always, always say, no, I'm not interested, okay? I'm not interested. Because by the way, a very long time ago, like around a year or 2 years ago, it used to be like if you walk around in the Bronx or like in the city, you would always see one person or two people basically trying to scam you. They would tell you, hey, I have this check, but I can't cash it out. Can you go cash it out? And I'll give you, for example, 20 bucks, and then boom, you're good to go, right? And the idea is that that check actually was fraudulent. So when you put it into your account, basically your bank would actually give you the money as a courtesy. You take that money out, you give it to that person, but once the bank finds out like, hey, this check is fraud, there's no money, it just bounced. Well, in reality, they'll take that money back and you're out of all that money, and that scammer got away with all the money but gave you at least 20 bucks. So that way, you at least can go buy yourself some napkins to actually cry in, okay? That's the idea, and that's how these scammers are actually doing it. But the last thing I want to talk about, guys, is basically, tell me, what are some safety ways that I can actually protect myself, and also, what can I do with these scammers? The first thing is this, guys, okay? When I got scammed, I'll be honest with you, my initial reaction was, hey, I'm gonna call the scammer. In reality, he was using a burner phone. So basically, a fake phone that he really doesn't use, and once he's done with it, he breaks it, he throws it away. That's what happened. In reality, if you think you're gonna talk to these people and be like, hey, can you please be nice and give me my money back? They don't really care whatsoever. To them, you're just another number. So once they actually scam you, they block you or throw the phone away and never contact you again. That's what they do. These people are not really nice people, to the point where a lady got scammed for around $25 the other day. Tell me how? The answer is, well, she's actually going through the pandemic, right? She's actually going through a lot right now, and the scammer tells her, hey, I'll send you $250, but just send me $25 to cover the fee. They sent the money, and then guess what happens? They blocked her on Twitter. She can't contact them, and the Cash App will not give her the money back. And she said, that was my last $25, and I got scammed for it. And that's what happens, okay? So these people don't really care about, hey, what's going on? And by the way, something I found is that basically, they justify what they do by saying, hey, you know what? If you're smart enough, what you would do is basically go to your bank account and claim the funds as fraudulent, and you'll get your money back. So even if I do scam you, in reality, you'll get the money back, so it's no big deal. I'm not scamming you, I'm actually scamming the big, massive company, so I'm actually not hurting anybody. And that's how they justify it. But in some cases, they do hurt individuals that don't know exactly what to do and just stay with that negative on their account. And that's something you actually want to prevent. But here is something you can actually do to prevent all this. And by the way, if you guys don't know, the Cash App has your social security number. So if at any point you don't really pay, they could potentially send you into collections and also ruin your entire credit score. So keep that in mind. But here is something you can actually do for safety. The first thing is this, okay? If anyone ever sends you money by accident and you have it into your account, the idea is if they tell you, hey, can you send the money back? Say no. Cancel the transaction from your side and just do it like that. I'm not sending money to anyone, okay? After 90 days or 180 days, if the money is still there, then most likely it was a real accident. But I wouldn't touch it whatsoever. Contact the Cash App or your bank account and say, hey, this must have been a mistake. What do I do? Whatever it is. But the answer is, do not send anyone any money whatsoever, because if it is a scam, you'll be out of all that money once that person actually claims it. On top of that, do me another favor. Go into your Cash App account right now and go into privacy and security settings and basically click on Touch ID, or for example, Face ID or PIN whenever you're actually sending money. That way, to send money, even if the person has, for example, your Cash App account, guess what? They can't send it without your PIN. But if they do have your login, most likely they also have your PIN, so keep that in mind also. And that's one way to actually do it. That way you prevent and have an extra layer of security in case your information does get stolen, but they don't have your PIN, okay? And on top of that, the third thing is this, okay? The Cash App does not have a customer service number. They do not talk to you online, I mean over the phone. And they do not ask you for your, hey, what's your PIN? What's your email? What's your sign in? What's your Cash App? What's your password? They do not ask for any of this information. So if you want to contact the Cash App, go in the app directly, click the help button and send them an email. It's the only way to contact them. I know it's annoying, but it's also a safety feature and also saves them a ton of money. So I get it, but I don't like it, okay? But they do not have a way for you to actually contact them. If you see a number on Google, usually that number is for a scammer. They talk to you, ask you for all the information, and then scam your pants right off of you while you're actually wearing it. So just keep that in mind. And if you ask me, guys, if I was actually the Cash App, the way I would fix this is by basically making it just a little bit more inconvenient to send money. So for example, every time I want to send money to someone, I have to confirm a text I get with a Y saying, yes, that's me, or for example, a no. For example, if it's like over $100 or $200, or I set the limit, that way I always get confirmation before somebody actually sends out a ton of money. That's what I would do to fix it. And by the way, if you have the Cash App, just go ahead and set it up with a credit card or a bank that you know has protection against fraud. That way, if they do scam you in any way, you can always get your money back by basically calling your credit card or basically your bank and getting the money back. And then your bank fights the Cash App to get the money, and then that's their problem, no longer your problem. But again, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Let's be honest, okay? So just keep away from all these, hey, I'm gonna give you quick cash, only click 2 buttons here and you get 500 bucks. The answer is usually it's a scam. All right, so keep away from those things. But guys, as always, if you learned something right here, well, like this video. On top of that, also, if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified. And by the way, comment down below and let me know, have you been scammed before? If you have, tell me how in the comments down below. I want to find out. That way, make another video about it. And that way, more people actually avoid getting scammed the same way you actually got scammed. And by the way, also follow me on Instagram, Ty Bryson. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, just follow me on Patreon. My link is down below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. But before I go, if you want to watch another video basically on more scams that actually take place, here's a video right here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.